It's like I'm breaking the fourth wall too early.
It's dude. It dips into creepiness and then it comes back out, and it's like really disconcerting. Because, you know, my face is attached to this now, and I'm like, Steve's making us both seem like creepy fucks. Like.
Alright guys, so now let's examine the very nature of a frame. So we're going to look at two positions here. We're going to look at our basic prayer position and our basic frame from the bottom of mount, and we're going to talk about why it works and how it works. Again, with the side control series, you've probably not watched, because why would you, like spend investment and time into your own jiu-jitsu? I don't know why. Anyway, I'll carry on. If you've watched the side control, by the way, like and subscribe. There's going to be some outtakes on this one.
There's going to be a few.
Alright guys, so what we're going to look at now is the nature of framing from bottom mount. We're going to look at two base positions. We're going to look at our basic prayer position and our basic frame from the bottom. So I'll just get John out of shot now. So, I need him back in shot as well. So, our two base positions we're going to look at is our prayer. Now, I want you guys to really ask yourself at home, what constitutes a good frame? Explain to me, or explain to the person next to you how to frame, what makes a good frame. Okay, there'll be a couple of things that will come up. The first thing that will come up is you'll say, well, you want your elbows inside your shoulder and hip line. And that's cool. Here's an example of my elbows being inside my hip line. Jono's going to come over and try and push my hands now to the mat. Yeah, go again. Yeah, go again. Okay, so in that scenario, my elbows are inside my hip line, my frame is not very strong. Second thing that someone might say is my arm needs to be stiff, my frame needs to be stiff. Okay, my hand's out stiff. Come and like push my arm around and stuff. Like side to side as well. Yeah, push into it and stuff. Yeah, cool. Cool. Alright. So my arm was straight and stiff. Still not a good frame. Now, let me show you two ways that we can make these frames stronger. Again, example-wise, come and push my arms. Yeah, cool. Come push my arms. All right. So again, in the two examples we've just done, when Jono moves my frames, he actually moves my whole body. So right now I'm going to explain to you exactly what constitutes a good frame, okay? And it relates back to everything else we've ever done in jiu-jitsu. A good frame is when you're engaging multiple muscle groups when you're using your arms, okay, as structure. So what does that mean? That means even though my elbows are inside right now, I'm only using small muscle groups to keep my arms in place, whether that's between me and my partner or whatever. If I lift my head off the ground, my core engages. I engage my pecs, I engage my lats, I engage my back. Now when I do that in this position here, and I can feel it all working, right? I'm sort of squeezing my elbows out. When a coach says elbows inside, that's what they mean. They don't mean elbows inside. This is shit. Yeah? They mean they want lat engagement. They want this muscle recruitment happening so that when your partner starts trying to separate your arms, or you need to frame on your partner's hips, you're using compound movements in order to make that happen. Okay, so that's the first example. Think of it as a like a curl or a chest press. Which can you lift more of? Think of it as like a good morning or a back squat. Which can you lift more of? Okay, and then think to why, right? What we're doing when we think about framing and jiu-jitsu in terms like that is we're relating it back to like a truth that we can all agree on. Like no one's going to argue with biomechanics. Yeah, we can argue about jiu-jitsu jargon all day, but if we relate everything back to biomechanics, all of a sudden we can relate things in a frame of reference that can be made sense by everybody. Again, in this situation, when I'm framing out here, I'm heads off the mat, core, chest, back, lats are engaged here. Okay, so now we relate this back to our basic hip escape. Well, when I hip escape, it's the engagement that I need. We get that engagement. A good coach will say, well, you're bringing your shoulders in front of your hips. Yeah, my foot's connected to the ground. So when you finish your basic hip escape, you're using your whole body to make sure that the frame you've created is strong and effective. Okay, and that is at the core of jiu-jitsu, right? Framing and being effective at using muscle recruitment and creating effective leverage from the bottom is everything that's going on from the bottom in jiu-jitsu. That's why when you get your legs involved and you go to a guard position, you can do more to your partner. Why can you do more to your partner? Because you're creating more leverage, because you're engaging more muscle groups, okay? This is very relevant when we talk about what my partner wants in the next video.